After hesitating for a long time, the centre has now cut excise duty on petrol by 5 rupees and on diesel by 10 rupees. This will lead to a revenue loss of 45,000 crore rupees or 0.2% of the GDP in the country. Still, why did the centre resort to this cut on excise duty? Let's understand. Most economies around the world are making a sharp comeback after the pandemic. Higher crude demands, when the supplies were low, had taken the crude oil prices to $85.2 a barrel in October. And according to Goldman Sachs, a strong recovery in global oil demand could push Brent crude prices to $90 a barrel by the end of the year. Brent crude is a classification used for major trading and serves as a benchmark for purchases on global financial markets. The Indian scenario. Well, the Indian economy is slowly opening up. Many states in the country have now opened up schools, colleges, cinema halls. Services-related activity rose to over a decade high in October. All these changes have really led to more movements across the country, whether it is for transport, for goods, or even people traveling. This has led to an increase in consumption of petrol by at least 21.4% and diesel consumption by 15.4%. With the centre and the states refusing to spare any duty cuts, the petrol prices had been continuing to rise until recently. In the BJP-ruled state, notably, states where the BJP is in power have reportedly announced cuts in VAT, that is, value-added tax. Meanwhile, other opposition-ruled states like Delhi, Maharashtra, West Bengal, Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh are yet to make a decision on reducing duties. And those non-BJP ruled states, many of them are currently reluctant to cut VAT as there are risks associated with reducing tax rates. If there is no consumption, a shrunken base and a lower VAT rate normally reduces collections in the state. Some states believe that their revenues would take a big hit if duties are cut. However, as the mobility across the country is expected to increase, there will be a rise in demand for petrol and diesel quite naturally. Thus, these states may eventually succumb to pressure and will be required to follow suit soon. Now, having said this, a marginal cut in fuel prices should not be seen as the ultimate weapon to combat inflation. The government, along with states, would need to cut duties substantially to make a real impact on the consumer. And rising commodity prices should also be considered as an important factor, in fact, a core factor that will be responsible for driving inflation.